Here we go!
Your joke did not make me laugh. In fact, it ruined my day. I'm gonna end stream now. Thanks for ruining my day. You don't... First off, buddy, you don't joke about Dairy Queen. That is such a delicacy here in Texas. Like, we take that shit very fucking serious. It's like joking about 9/11, but instead you're joking about Dairy Queen for Texas. Okay, in stream. All right, bye. But hello. So I'm not going to be doing too much editing. However, though, so all of this here, that's all done for Void Terrarium. There is a part though here that I need to do, but I don't have the footage for it yet. But all I'm gonna really do today is just go through the audio and fix some mistakes and like kind of change stuff. So we're not doing too much interesting stuff today for the editing part. But after we're done with this, I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and actually play after Image. And then tomorrow we're gonna be playing another game that's coming out tomorrow, so but that's about it. Is the music too loud? I just noticed how loud these songs on this one are. I'm debating if I want to get up and turn on the two lights up there, because I mean right now the green screen isn't too bad, but it's probably gonna get terrible in a bit because it's gonna start getting nighttime. But yeah, all we're gonna really be doing is just going through the audio, making sure that I edit out the mistakes. My biggest problem is that I have a shit ton of mistakes. This is probably about 20 minutes worth of actual audio. And there's like an extra probably 10 minutes or more of just mistakes. But I think at one point it was an hour 30 minutes. I think I've already edited out like 10 minutes of mistakes. So pretty good amount. I've gotten terrible at reading shit, I guess, recently. Maybe I'm going brain dead. What do I want to listen to? See how good this is. I keep feeling like this is like super loud. The tiki-taki videos. I literally made a TikTok, I uploaded a few times, it just stopped entirely. So many people told me it would help my channel out. They'd be like, "Oh, just upload a TikTok, dude. It's so good." And I did, and like nothing, dude. So it's kind of stopped. That's probably what it is. It's just probably really loud on my end.
Now, I'm going to talk about this woman here that you can find in the VR world. She's some...
There. I have a package coming in today, so hopefully I hear them knock on the door.
For the feline disease. Well, as I said...
I mean, I should hear them knock on the door. I mean... My headphones aren't noise canceling,
She's
so...
someone you could talk to.
Hold on, let me do this. I mean, I could hear that on my desk. I should be able to hear the door. If not, dude, you have to make sure you hear it for me.
She's someone you can talk to so you can find a cure for the feline disease. Well, as I said before, passed away. So you craft a cat plush and bring it to the small child. And she talks.
I'm about to redo that. I have no fucking idea what I'm saying here.
So you craft a cat.
That ain't even fucking English. What am I saying there?
And she talks.
All right, let me redo this one real quick.
So you craft a cat plush and bring it to the small child to help cheer her up.
Okay. I'm gonna let me mute desktop audio real quick, and I'm gonna record that line real quick. Give me a second. That's good. Okay. So you help. God damn it. So you help. See, dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I can't fucking read scripts anymore. It's so stupid. I guess I'm getting stage right. Hold on. So you help craft a What the fuck, dude? Literally, I don't know, man. So you help craft a cat plush to. Okay, I have to read what the line was again because I forgot actually. Let's read Sigma Funk at it. Hold on. Do you help craft a cat plush to bring to the child to help cheer her up? So you craft a cat plush to help cheer up the child. All right, you know what? Maybe it would help if I actually look at the fucking word instead of just trying to remember it from that. Let me do that real quick. I don't know, man. I just struggle with reading, I guess, now. At least scripts. So dude. Hold on, my back fucking itches, dude. So you help. Okay. Okay, here it is. All right, let me read it real quick, and then I'll put the music back on. So you craft a cat plush and bring it to the small child to help cheer her up. So you craft a cat plush. So you craft a cat plush and bring it to the small child to help cheer her up. One of those has to be good. One of those lines has to be decent enough, huh? What's your schedule now, though, for classes? Also, I found out one of my friends is streaming again. Not streaming. One of my friends is making videos again. So I'm really happy for him.
So you craft a cat.
Like, genuinely, I'm very happy he's doing stuff again.
So you craft a cat plush. So you craft a cat plush and bring it to the small. All
right, yeah, that's good enough.
Passed away. So you craft a cat plush and bring it to the small child to help cheer her up. And she talks about how she will one day find a cure for the feline. To the small child to help cheer her up. And she talks about how she will one day find a cure for the feline outbreak. When you report back to the female scientist, she goes into how they have a daughter that's around the same age.
Back to back now, so it starts at 9 a.m. till 10:50 a.m., 2 15-minute classes, so the other one's at like 1 p.m. That's good then, that you're not waiting so long.
She talks about how she
waiting basically the same time as like a layover for flight.
When you report back to the and she talks about how she will one day find a cure for the feline outbreak. When you report back to the female scientist, she goes into how they have a daughter that's around the same age.
It still pisses me off in this game that they do this whole VR world and they talk about a feline disease that's never mentioned anywhere in the game. It's never mentioned anywhere in the first game. It's never mentioned anywhere outside of the VR world in the second game. Nobody even talks about how it was a thing. It's just there. It makes no sense.
Daughter that's around the same age, which is why she was so dedicated to try and help the child's mom. This is why she was. This is.
I'm excited though, because this pretty soon I'll be going to Boston, so I'm pretty excited about that. Maybe I'll meet Emiko if we go to New York, if he's actually down for it. I'll meet up with him. Yeah, well, they do that. They do that multiple times. It's really fucking weird. Like, they do it multiple times. And like, the one thing that still pisses me off, that there's no way in hell that you can explain it, is how did they know that Toriko's name was Toriko? Like, how did they guess? Because at the first, at the start of the first game, you guys name her Toriko because you're just like, well, fuck it, let's pick a name. Like, there's no way that gives you that idea that that should be your name. You just pick it. That's your random name you give her. And then in the VR world, that's her actual name. And that's supposed to be based off the past. That means that you and Factory Eye were so good at guessing a name that you somehow, out of every name in the goddamn world you could have came up with, you picked her actual name. It makes no sense.
This is when the big bombshell is dropped. As
I would have gave the story props if the girl was like, oh yeah, we have another daughter named blah blah blah, whatever, and then you soon learn that that's Toriko they're talking about, because again, Toriko wouldn't be her actual name. That's the name you gave her, but in this game, it's her actual name.
As we learn, bombshell is dropped. As we learn.
It's just, Void Terrarium 2 is such a letdown, man, for story wise. And then, like, after playing it, like, there's a good amount of stuff I like for changes, but then, like, the whole map system ruins it. I've been good, by the way. I've just been basically working a good amount. But tomorrow, we're going to be playing another game that comes out. But I do work tomorrow, so I'll probably stream before I work. And then Friday, I'll more than likely do, like, a long-ass fucking stream all day for the most part. I have nothing going on.
This.
I'll probably go see my mom Friday, hang out with her, take a nap, come back home, and then do a long stream. So
as we learn, this is Tariq.
It's kind of really all I do, for the most part. I don't really do much interesting stuff, but I have noticed, being by myself, I'm not as stressed as I used to be. I don't get as angry about shit being annoying now. The only time I get angry now is at video games, because video games suck. But but like, I don't feel as stressed anymore, so I will say that's pretty good. But like I said, I am planning a trip to Boston and New York in February. So February 27th, I'll be going over there, and I'll probably be making video out of it. But I'm gonna go meet Seb and all of them in person finally. Which, if you remember him, he's the tuna guy.
This is Toriko's mom.
He was also the guy I did an episode when we were doing that podcast. He was the first episode.
Toriko's mom. We learned this.
So I'm gonna go meet him and probably hold hands with him. We'll see.
We learned this. And we learned this by her telling us this is Toriko's mom. And we find this out by her telling us the name of her daughter, which is somehow, and we only and we
maybe. Well, I mean, it'll be cold. It's not gonna be warm at all. It's gonna be cold as shit in Boston.
Toriko's mom. And we
it's gonna be more cold than it is over here, because right now it's 48 degrees, but I think over there it's gonna at least be in like the 20 and 30s. which means I really need to actually layer up because all I have is a windbreaker.
It's Toriko's mom, and we find this out by her telling us the name of her daughter, which is somehow
I also need a shave. I need to shave my mustache.
her telling us the name of her daughter, which is somehow.
I have been trying to eat better, by the way, and apparently Mew Kitty, every time she sees me, she tells me I lose weight. So I genuinely don't know if I'm losing weight anymore. Granted, I say that while I'm drinking like Dr. Pepper, but I do also try to drink more water when I can. But I have noticed I've lost weight, but I did see a video a long time ago. Well, not long ago. I saw it recently, but I saw a video of when I used to live with Mondo for a bit, and oh my fucking god, dude! I didn't realize how fucking fat I was at that time. I was like super fucking fat. I mean, it was from all the stress eating and shit I was doing, but yeah, no, I saw myself and I was like, God fucking damn. I was like, holy shit.
And we find this out.
Yeah, this winter Arctic blast sucks ass. When I was back home for vacation, I was freezing my ass off. Oh yeah, no, I finally like actually had to like layer up at work. Normally it doesn't get that cold. But like even the heater and my guard shack was like struggling to heat up the guard shack because it was so cold. It was like 20 something degrees.
This is Toriko's mom, and we find this out by her telling us the name.
Anyone who says they love the cold more than heat are lying to you. By all means, I hate sweating. I do. I hate it. And sometimes the heat is unbearable. But the heat doesn't hurt. I genuinely fucking hate the feeling of my hands going numb and feeling like there's needles stuck inside of it because of how cold it is. That doesn't happen in the heat. And it's very easy to like cool off versus warming up. So like I used to be a firm believer on like, oh yeah, the cold's better. No, anyone who tells you that, they're lying to you. they're gaslighting you. My hands genuinely like go numb and hurt.
And we find this out by her telling us the name of her daughter, which is somehow.
Yeah, October weather's great.
Actually, Toriko.
I don't know though. It's kind of funny that everybody always gets so surprised how cold it gets in January, but it's been doing this for like the past 3-4 years. This is mostly speaking for Texas people. But like it's done this for the past 3-4 years. Like it gets cold as shit in January because everyone will be like, oh, it's not cold in December, it doesn't feel like Christmas, and then January it's like 26 degrees half the time.
Toriko, you know the name we came up with at random in the first game.
You see so many Texas people that are like, oh, what the fuck. Also, I need to think of a cool Texas gift to give Seb, Dan, and John when I go see them. I need to figure out a cool Texas gift because I'm gonna probably film a lot of it, and then when we go to New York, we're gonna go to the Nintendo Nintendo store there, and I'm probably gonna live stream that. So
game meaning either.
I need to think of a cool Texas gift that I can bring on a plane.
First game meaning either she's named Toriko in these virtual meaning.
See, 50 degrees is like
Toriko,
the average here.
Meaning, this means either she's named. This means either she's or we're just.
What do you think this means?
This means.
Yeah, what do you think it means? But no, yeah, I could see that. I don't know. For me, Christmas is every time now, dude. Christmas doesn't ever feel like Christmas anymore. It doesn't. Probably because I'm a very jaded adult now, but almost choked. But like, I don't know, I don't feel Christmas spirit usually, but I still enjoy hanging out with my family when I can. But
random in the first game, this means either she's named Toriko in these VR memories because it's not the past at all, which is what I said before, or we're just so skilled at picking the name or and somehow landing on her birth, or we're
But hopefully, hopefully the Void Terrarium video will come out. Best case scenario comes out this weekend. Worst case scenario comes out next weekend.
Or we're just so skilled at picking the name at random.
Dude, the strawberry Dr. Peppers are fantastic. They are my favorite. I will say though, recently I tried one and it didn't taste as good, but it's still my favorite.
Or we're just so skilled at picking the name at random.
But weirdly enough, Walmart, I've only found one time where Walmart was selling the bottles of them, like in a pack. Other than that, they just sell the cans, and I don't really want to buy the canned sodas because a 12-pack Dr. Pepper, dude, it's like almost $10. It's fucking crazy.
And somehow
Versus like if I buy like a pack of 6 bottles, it's cheaper.
landing on her birth name. Name. I hate that this word. I hate that.
I got to redo this line right here.
I hate that this world is. Mentions her daughter. It's that world is even here, man. I hate it, dude. I just hate it.
But no, I think the strawberry Dr. Peppers are my favorite, 100%. Can you hear the music all right? Like, is it loud enough for you to hear it? Or should I boost it enough? They've only ever had the cream version and original. Yeah, that's all they ever had. They always have, which the cream soda one's pretty all right. I don't know why though. It took me so long to realize Dr. Pepper's a Texas thing. I don't know why. I didn't realize that.
This means I hate that this world is even here, man. I hate it, dude. I just.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to basically do this audio real quick. Give me a second. I hate that this world is even here, man. I really just hate it. Now I'm gonna go back to speaking monotone. You know how many times I would speak because my voice is pretty monotone when it comes to like how I talk. It's not like a e-boy deep voice or anything though. I'm not. I can't even do it. Hold on. What is a girl always gotta leave a 10 guy for a fuck boy? But like my voice, since I talk kind of monotone, I've always had to like at jobs when I first meet people, I always have to like change up how I talk because sometimes I've had people think that I was being sarcastic to them or just being a dick. Just like, no, this is how I talk. I used to get the Arizona tea watermelon flavor all the time. Brisk, I've never been a fan of. But yeah, I've had like people think that I was being a dick or I was being sarcastic when I would talk to someone. Or like someone would like tell me like, oh, like I really love doing this. And I was just like, oh, that's really cool. But like I'm being genuine with them, but then like the way I talk makes it sound like I'm just like I don't give a shit. I don't know. But yeah, no, I didn't know Dr. Pepper was a Texas thing for a long time. And then I learned it was. Is Arizona tea still 99 cents or has inflation kicked in and basically I was trying to listen and see if someone knocked on the door. I thought I heard something, but no. It sucks that my package is coming in and I have to sign for it. Like there's no option not to sign for it. I'd rather just not. Or I'd rather sign online and then have them drop it off. But make the 125. I think over here they're 125. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna keep. Okay. Honestly, no, that one's still better. I really am upset that Sonic Frontiers didn't have a Chow Garden, dude. I feel like that would have been a perfect game to have a Chow Garden again. I also really hate that I hate Sonic Frontiers. I really don't like it. Well, do you think they will? Because I don't know. I always hear about fucking places wanting to do that. You always see it. You always hear about Texas wanting to do it. I can tell you right now, though, if that were to happen, military is going to put a stop to that instantly. Jesus. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I know there's so many people that I know that want to move to Canada because they don't want to be here because of Trump. But like a lot of people don't realize how shit Canada's healthcare is. Like if you think America's bad at healthcare, Canada's healthcare is way worse. Also, a lot of Canadians are pretty racist. In my experience, I've seen a lot more racist people in Canada than I've seen in America. This is coming from someone who's been to the dirty south of Texas. Not to mention the place living over there. Yeah. Texas is also increasing. It's because we get a lot of people from Cali. Once we finish this, I'll start playing After Image. Isn't editing so fun, dude? I'm surprised they didn't because they were setting up I mean they set up I mean even if they didn't do Chow Guard, I'm surprised they didn't have like a thing with the little creatures that roam around the world. And like you collect them, so like why not have a place for them where you can level them up and stuff? But Sega just doesn't Sega like just doesn't want to make money with the Chow Garden. It's weird because there's money to be made there for sure. My only guess is that they just probably don't feel confident anymore with Chow Garden actually being successful. Because I mean, you have people that say they would buy a game if it had a Chow Garden in it, but does that mean they really will? You know? Or the other option is that they just don't even know how to make a Chow Garden again. They could just not know how to do it. I think Balin had it's not a Chow Garden, but it had like a similar thing to a Chow kind of thing, where in the open area you could like actually take care of the little creatures there. But it was so minuscule, but it was there. I don't think we need that part. I can just I finally got a physical copy of Balin and I'm happy. Balin is the cheapest PS5 game I've ever bought. That shit was $9. So probably after Void Terrarium 2 comes out, I'm gonna probably go ahead and start working again on the Cat Part 2 video. And then when that's done, I'll probably start doing Slitterhead. And then when that's done, maybe finish Dewey. Maybe finally fucking beat Dewey and talk about Dewey's adventure. I do know for the Attilia videos, I need to start playing the third game. So once I clear some space on my hard drive, which actually I found the other one, I just need to get a cord for it. Look, you can scratch on it. But I just need to do that. You might have to postpone. No. What's really, I mean, once for Rain World, once I get the first two campaign scripts written, then we'll continue more Rain World, or until I can get rid of a lot of the stuff on my hard drive for like videos. Like once, like I know the Void, let me see how much Void Terrarium 2's taking up. I know Void Terrarium 2 in general, it's taking up about 53 gigabytes because my fucking file sizes are so huge. No, my bad, 54.6. Like a lot of these are like 4 gigs each. But it's how I captured like really good quality gameplay footage, but I feel like there's still a way to keep the quality and lower the fucking file sizes. Oh, my bad. Let me put more music on. A minor inconvenience. Looks like we have to postpone Rain World. Minor inconvenience to something that's unrelated. I think we got to stop the Rain World streams. I forgot this compilation uses a Mario 64 song that isn't even an actual fucking song for the game. It's Scatman's World. Oh. Very, very pain in. I can be trusted with a knife. Package just arrived in the mail. I think we may have to postpone the Rain World streams. Due to my personal copy of Mario 64, this song appears. It's very beautiful. I believe you. Alright, I have to not show my address. So let me open this real quick. Amtrak's or hopefully both. You know, sometimes if you get lucky, they'll just send you a straight package bomb. And then you don't have to go through the whole thing of having anthrax poisoning. God, I didn't realize how fucking huge this plushie was. Wow, I'm like, I can be trusted with a knife as I hold it right fucking towards my face. Yeah, that would have went really well. That would have went so fucking well. There is a plushie in here, but it's not an anime doll. Oh, it's fucking trash I'm gonna have to deal with. Out of there. I know this seems like a lot of shit that I ordered, but a lot of it was like $3. But here was the main thing I wanted to order. So this is one of the games we'll be covering soon. It's not anytime soon, but got a little triple pack. I don't know how it's gonna look on the green screen, but it's the stray sheet thing. And I was able to get the DVD, by the way, so worked out. But this comes with the game. Some shorts or something. And it comes with the music, so that was one of the things. And then here's the this is the plush that they had, which I was actually surprised to find this for fucking cheap, but they have them all trapped in here. But little plushie guy. And there's one thing I actually genuinely love collecting, is plushies. But the problem is I don't have fucking room for a lot of these guys, but I was like, hell yeah, dude, for this much. The only problem is this horn is falling off. But yeah, here's the stray sheep guy. It's pretty fucking huge. This was like $9. Honestly, the most expensive part of it was shipping it. But this was $9. I mean, this was pretty cheap. Most expensive part of this was literally this. But that's what happens when you have actual income and savings, you know. You can treat yourself every once in a while. And then all these PS1 got here for like fucking $4 each. Yeah, he's a little fucked up, but it's all right. I mean, I can get someone to fix that pretty easily. It's just resewing it. But we'll add these to man, you know what I'm not looking forward to? I'm not looking forward to covering all those fucking box PS2 games I have. I am not looking forward to that shit. That is so much crap I'm gonna have to go over. Luckily, we don't have to play them all the way through. So it's not like I have to record hours and hours of a single game, but it's like a fighting game or something, so. All right, let's see the rest of this shit. Also, how are you doing today, Piggy? Are you doing good? Did you wash under your balls today? Hopefully you did. Please don't tell me you guys are watching the stream with unwashed balls. That would be really cringe. Did you wash your kabusi, dude? Make sure you wash that too. You put it aged like wine over there. That shit ain't aging like wine anytime soon, buddy. This is a big fucking game for no reason. I got this one not realizing that that they have this in oh, it comes with like stickers and shit. But I got this one not realizing that they had a German version, not a German version, a PAL version of it, which would be the better option to get because that's actually in English. But the good part of this is a lot of this shit, like I said, it was like $2-3 each. So yeah, my pet TV or whatever the fuck that is. And I ordered these like about a month ago, but I didn't have them shipped until literally 2 days ago. And then here's that game that guy wanted me to fucking play for a good while, so I was like, I found it for $3, which one of these days I'll cover it, but it's that RPG. So, which every time I look at it, I know it's like an RPG, but it really does not look like an RPG. It looks like a fucking dance rhythm game, but apparently it's not. Rookie, I air seal my balls with a machine and they haven't been washed in 5 years. Why? I feel like if they're air sealed and you're not in any way making sweat form down there, they probably wouldn't be that bad. But I don't know. I don't know about that, man. Also, I fucking got this and I didn't realize I already had a copy of it. So maybe we'll do a giveaway. You guys want a Japanese fucking PS1 game? But I guess I already had a copy of this. Is there at? Oh, dude, fuck you. The guy sent me a broken ass thing. I mean, it was $2. Oh, well, who cares? But luckily, I actually have one that works. Is there actually an Uno story PS1 game? If so, I'll play through it right now. We'll say fuck after image, and once I finish editing, we'll play through it, if that is the case. We'll find them, CQ, as your viewers. We vow to find them. You better, dude. All I know is it's some guy in Japan. I don't care if that only costed me $2. That's $2 that should have been with a fucking working case. This game, however, I'm actually really interested in this one. But I don't know how to open it. But this is the last one. It's Fireware game. I don't know how to open this one because I'm trying to open it like normally, and I don't think it's gonna open that way. Oh. Okay, just open normally that time. Pretty good Japanese PS1 haul. Find them like cost 400, investigation costs 5,000. Do you know who I am? You cost CQ $2. They're like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is CQ son? Alright, that's cool. I'm pretty happy about the plushie. I didn't realize how fucking huge this guy was. So. Oh, I think I've heard about that one. I didn't know it had an actual story though. Here, I'm gonna put him. He's not gonna fit up there. We'll just set him on the. All right, enough distractions. I have to work. Hi Mujib. He hasn't streamed actually in a bit. I think as soon as I got the one video taken down, that channel stopped. Let me check. Last time I checked, he hasn't streamed. I just again love my favorite thing about that whole thing is the fact that none of the videos that he fucking stole from me, or even the one Majora's Mask playthrough, but the motherfucker got a goddamn screenshot from it. Everything else, yeah, he hasn't streamed in 5 days. I think that channel's dead. I guess we're never gonna know about the fucking Majora's Mask game. Speaking of Zelda music, just never gonna know. You guys want to see me throw this in the air and try to catch it with my hand? I'm pretty sure that would turn out very well. He's planning a huge comeback to surprise his hungry fans with. Yeah, the one subscriber he has, which is me. I'm the only motherfucker watching it. All right, guys, we're gonna throw this in the air and we're just gonna try to catch it with my mouth. You ready? Let me put that over there before I actually hurt myself and then have to go to the hospital. And this economy, dude, I don't got the money to afford a hospital bill. I think I'm just gonna have to die.
Robbie goes back and gives the rundown to Factory. She's excited to learn about this.
One of these days, dude, I'll actually start making videos on games that people care about. One of these days, I'll actually talk about Majora's Mask. One of these days, I'll talk about Ocarina of Time. One of these days, I'll talk about fucking, are you smarter than a 5th grader for Xbox? You know, everyone's favorite. One of these days, dude.
Robbie goes back and gives the rundown to Factory Eye about what we learned, with Toriko being a test subject and how she and the other girls are getting experimented on.
You know what? One game I do for sure want to cover this year, and like I'm gonna set aside time to do it. Hopefully, you know, I say that and then I end up not. But I really want to fucking talk about DK64. DK64 is better than Banjo. I said what I said. It's better. Banjo is just saying stupid shit all the time, going yuck, 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 huck tua, while DK actually speaks English, and he's always going, okay, you know, so like, better already. They both suck ass. Go ahead and ban them.
And the other girls are getting experimented on. She's excited to learn about this since now there's a chance we can probably get more.
You haven't even played DK64, so shut up, dude. I don't see no long play DK64 on your channel, so you can't even say you played it.
She's excited to...
Everybody knows unless you record it, you didn't really play it.
She's excited to learn about this since now there's a chance we can...
Play. You know what's sad, though? If you play DK64 and anything but the N64, you actually are playing a worse version of said game, because everything ends up being harder, because that whole game was designed around the fact that it runs like shit. I play guitar, I didn't know. Yeah, if you don't know about DK64, so what DK64 does to deal with the lag, so whenever the game lags, everything speeds up. So like, let's say if you hit like a bunch of lag, the game will just speed everything in the game up and speed your character up, so you don't notice it as much. But because of that, a lot of areas normally will just lag to lag because it's a pretty big game for a 64. So if you play it on the Wii U, some of the missions are basically almost impossible unless you pause buffer, because it's not taking into account any of that lag anymore, but the game is running at the normal speed it should. So like, because there's no lag, it's running too fast. It's really fucking weird how they handled it, but that's why you can make DK fly and everything, because it's so glitchy with how it handles lag.
Robbie lets her know this. Robbie lets her.
Speaking of Donkey Kong 64, dude, you're gonna tell me this song sucks? This is from DK64.
Edition and maybe a way to cure it. Robbie lets her know the place to check is none other than our old terrarium that we evacuated from. Surprised by this, she did a.
Donkey Kong is still the best Kong, though. I used to annoy the shit out of my 3rd grade teacher about Donkey Kong. I used to tell her all the time about Donkey Kong, and she would tell me to shut up. Like, I don't want to hear about Donkey Kong, and I'd be like, well, Donkey Kong can throw rocks. Donkey Kong can slam down sometimes if you get him mad enough. She's, I don't know who that is. So, she was not a fan of Donkey Kong. Miss, well, Chunky Kong, if he's angry enough, he could throw a rock. That Wrinkly Kong is fucking hot, though. Honestly, if she wasn't dead, I would agree.
Surprised by this, she did assume before that.
She used to scare me, though, when I was younger. I always got scared because so in DK64, Wrinkly Kong will give you hints. But whenever you go up to her, she goes, woo. Because she's a ghost and she's dead. Well, it used to scare the shit out of me, so I used to ignore her because I didn't like her. Because the first time I went up, I did that, and she went, woo, and I went, oh, I don't like that. And I just stopped going to her. So when I would get lost, I would dread having to fucking talk to her because she would scare me.
Surprised by.
But the one thing that really, oh, what the fuck happened? The one thing that really scared the shit out of me in DK64 was in one of the missions, you go into like this little, it's in Aztec, I think. Angry Aztec or whatever. You go into the little pyramid thing, and as soon as you get in there, a deep voice goes, "Get out!" and like a target appears on screen. And I remember the first time I was playing that with my brother, and I went in there and he saw that, and I wasn't scared at first, but his reaction scared the shit out of me, because I was like, well, if he's fucking scared, that means whatever's gonna happen is really bad. So I remember I never beat that mission because my brother's reaction to it scared the shit out of me, because I was like, well, if he's scared of a target appearing and a voice saying "get out," something must be really bad. So
Robbie lets her know the place to check is none other than our old terrarium that we evacuated from. Surprised by this, she did assume before that. Surprised.
I did also have a nightmare of Laughing Jack, which is one of the bosses. I had a nightmare when I was younger that he ate my house.
Surprised by this at first. Surprised.
I don't remember much of it, just the fact that he ate my house. That's it.
Surprised by this at first, she did assume before that the original location was where the horrible experiments took place.
I was actually surprised the Void Terrarium 2 video won the poll for what video they wanted me to work on. Because originally I was gonna work on Slitterhead, actually. I was gonna do this in Slitterhead and put Slitterhead out first. Pretending you beat a game because you copied your brother's save on the memory card because I couldn't back then. For liking this game, you sure have great memories with it. Oh, DK64? Yeah, dude. I don't know. My brain's built to remember trauma memories more than anything good. I actually was talking to my mom recently. I was like, hey, is it normal just to like have gaps in your memory? And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I cannot tell you anything of what I did when I was 4. I cannot tell you anything I did when I was 5. And I swear to God, I can't say anything about 8, 7, maybe. Like they're like a lot of my past memories. I don't know. I don't know how old I was for a lot of them because I cannot remember. So that's like one of the problems with me when I tell stories of my past. I'll be like I was probably 6 or 7, and then like maybe another time I'll tell the same story and think I'm like 8 or 9 because I genuinely cannot remember how old I was unless I sit there and figure out something in the memory and then figure out when that came out or something like that. But yeah, no, she said apparently she's the same way, that she just has gaps in her memories of like certain years. And I was like, yeah, no, I was like, there's just some years I don't remember shit from it. I was like, the only way I remember anything is if someone tells me something happened and then it jogs it, or I just believe them.
She just fit.
But my favorite memory of DK64 is when I got it. Because there used to be these kids who lived in a trailer house next to kind of where we were, but so like the way it was we were in the middle of nowhere, and they lived on a road next to us, and we were just over there, and I remember one day I saw this yellow cartridge of a monkey on it. I don't even think I knew who Donkey Kong was. I was just like, that shit looks fucking cool. I was like, that shit looks like it's the best game ever made. And I kept wanting it, but like I obviously didn't want to just ask for it. Well, apparently one day the kids got in trouble, so they were grounded, but we still went over. I was with my dad, everything. I think so. My dad was seeing one of the girls that lived there at the time, because it was like 2 girls and then their mom. And then one of the girls had kids, the other one didn't. I think my dad was seeing the one that didn't have kids. But I remember they were grounded and they were just like, well, they saw me looking at the game again and they're like, do you want it? And I was like, huh? And they're like, yeah, do you want it? They're grounded. They can't play games. I was like, okay. So I took that motherfucker home, and dude, that shit was the best trade ever. Fuck those kids. I'm glad they got grounded because I got to play DK64, baby. Same, the brief time I had as had a therapist, they said it's usually linked to trauma in your mind. You tend to go over those memories over and over and over and over. That's what solidifies memories, so you aren't remembering things you didn't constantly go back and think about. Yeah, it's probably what it is then. Because more often than not, I can tell you all the sad shit about that's happened in my life, but you try to ask me something good, I struggle to figure that shit out.
Surprised by this at first, she did assume before that the original location. She just figured we saw the memory. The original location was where the horrible experiments took place. She just figured we saw the memory shard back at her.
Maybe. I can't confirm until I see it for myself. Yeah, no, good things do happen. I just don't dwell on the good things as much as I should. Cause I'll think about more negative shit, but then like at the same time too, there's a lot of good things that has happened that I could think about, you know. But that's the problem with having a very is it pessimist mindset or pessimistic or something like that? I'm very much the cup is half empty or half full kind of guy or whatever.
She just figured we saw the memory shard back at her old terrarium, so she never brought it up. She informs us she informs us.
I know Piggy's gonna make a joke about me saying that I love this game or whatever, but I will say this is probably one of the more negative reviews I've written in a while. I think the last time I had a negative review like this was for Illbleed.
She just
like genuinely a lot of the games I played that I end up not liking, there's still a good amount of stuff I like about them, and I usually can notice that. Illbleed's one of the few where I was like, yeah, this shit sucks ass. There's no saving it. And even with the stuff I did like, it wasn't enough. And then Void Terrarium 2 is on that list now. Because even with Slitterhead's complete trash, but it's so unique for what it is that I love it just because of that. Like, the thing with Slitterhead is I still cannot think of another game that plays like Slitterhead. It just sucks that Slitterhead decided to spend more money on its FMVs, and that's probably where a lot of the money went, because I can't tell where any of the money went besides that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that game plays like trash, and I mean, it's a small dev company. I just think they should have put more effort in certain things than they did. But Slitterhead plays so uniquely where it's like, I love it just for that. Would I play it again? Fuck no.
She just figured we saw the memory.
Which one was Illbleed again? Also, I bought a cheap PS5 and Sony put Slitterhead on my homepage. Like, I might fucking buy it. It depends on how much it is. I would tell you right now, and this is coming from someone who loves shitty games, that game is worth 20 bucks at most. Do not buy it for 40. Illbleed was the Sega Dreamcast horror game where you had to like deal with traps for the first level, and then in the second level you didn't have to deal with traps. And it was the one that I gave up halfway through. Because well, there's another one too that I gave up halfway through. I guess another one I could add to the list was that Kawaii one, the point and click PS2 looking game. That one I can add to the list of. It's unique, but it sucks. And there's not much redeeming qualities to it besides it being somewhat unique.
She just figured we saw the memory shard back at our old terrarium, so she never brought it up.
But I'll give that more of a slide because it's one guy doing everything.
She informs us she will put the old...
I know Illbleed, I think, is almost a year at this point now. It's either a year or almost 2 years now.
Coordinates back...
Since I did the review for that.
Coordinates back into our system so we can traverse back, but warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that appears to be filling the... that appears to be filling the area around. So we really need to have our guard... making it more... She informs us she will put the old coordinates back into our system so we can traverse back, but warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that appears to be filling the area around it, making it more treacherous to return to. So we really need to have our guard up and be aware. So we really need... making it more treacherous to return to. So we really need to have our guard up and be aware. Before we leave...
Do I want to redo this? I don't know. It sounds weird to me.
She informs us she will put the old coordinates back into our system so we can traverse back, but warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that... but warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy... About a weird shift of energy... back, but warns Robbie about... But warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that appears to be filling the area around it, making it... But warns Robbie...
I'm gonna redo this part.
But warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that appears to be filling the area around it.
But warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that seems to be filling the area around it. I'll show you a weird shift in energy. I don't know. Yo, are you down to meet up in New York, Emiko, if I go? Like, legit? Would you want to go to the Nintendo store with us if I go? Well, I should be going. I say if I go, like I didn't already buy the fucking tickets.
But warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that appears...
I thought you lived in New York. Okay, my bad. I thought you lived in New York. Well, we are going near Rhode Island. I don't know if you're near that.
But warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that appears to be filling the area around it.
Yeah, we are going to Rhode Island. I don't know if you live near that at all. Upstate New York? Oh, okay. See, I don't understand how fucking New York is. That's just a Texas in me, because in my mind, I'm like, if it ain't Texas, I don't fucking know shit. Yeah, I thought you lived like in New York.
Into our system,
like New York. Like New York City, you know.
But warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy system so we can traverse back. But warns Robbie about a weird shift of energy that seems to be filling the area around it, making it more treacherous to return to. So we really need to have our guard up and be aware.
It's fine. A lot of people seem to think New York is one massive city. I'm in a city, just a different city. Yeah, see, that's what I think. In my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, New York is just one big fucking city and nothing else.
Before we leave, is
this DK64 music? Oh, it's Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, it's the same fucking artist. Sound fun. It'd be like me asking Siki want to hang out in Amarillo with me. I will never step foot in Amarillo, so. fuck that place. But yeah, no, I get you then.
Before we leave, we unlock the danger zone. This is Void 2's version of the This is Void 2's version.
Well, I don't know. Texas is different though, because in my mind, well, I mean, 300 miles, that's only about like 4 hours, dude. Just make the trip, dude. I think you're just lying. I think you're just making shit up.
Up and be aware. Before we leave, we unlock the
If you don't want to hang out, you just just say you don't want to hang out instead of driving 300 miles. Is there no fucking train that will just take you 300 miles, dude? Is New York not built for trains like that?
Before we leave, we unlock the danger zone. This is Void 2's version of the endless dungeon from the first game.
It's actually crazy though with Texas. There's so many people that think they can come to Texas and like explore it in like a weekend. I've seen that so many times. Where they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go explore Texas for a weekend. And I got like, oh, you're just gonna go to like a few cities? Like, no, we're gonna go all over it. And I'm like, oh, good fucking luck, dude.
But it's nice to see it's back. I didn't really.
Yeah, no, it's fucking huge. I think there was like a thing that they did. You could fit the whole entire population of America, I think, in Texas if we were spread out by a certain distance. Hold on, let me find it. There's a thing for it. Can you fit everyone? Oh, yeah, here it is. So apparently what I'm finding is you could fit everybody in Texas, but you could not live comfortably. That's what I'm finding out, is that they said, so like a lot of the stuff is saying you can't accommodate everyone's needs if you did that. But it's not denying that everybody couldn't fit in Texas. It's just saying you couldn't accommodate their needs. Also, there's Noodle over there. Hi, Noodle. And hi, Noodle. Hi, Noodle. Okay, goodbye. What if we renamed Texas into CQ Land? I don't think they would let you. The only reason I want to go to Texas is I hear my cock will be bigger there or something. I don't know, buddy.
I didn't do much with this, but it's nice to see it's back.
I don't know about that one.
I didn't really do anything with this, but it's nice to see it's back for those who like the endless dungeon in the first game. I didn't do much dungeon from the first game.
Noodle just cries, by the way, and walks around the house now. Before when she got here, she just sat under the bed and wouldn't do anything. Now she's like over there playing with the chair. It's not very bright. Noodle! I would try to grab her, but she doesn't really like to be picked up. I can't wait to see what you'll name your kids someday with the shit you come up with. Well, I didn't name Noodle. I asked Discord to name it, and Nor named it. So that was Nor's choice for the name.
Before we leave, we unlock the danger zone. This is Void 2's version.
I probably would have named it food related, though, to be fair with you, so it wouldn't have been too different. My mom went to Texas and her trucker boyfriend told her not to put anything on their steak like ketchup because you'll insult them. She walked in the door. I guess someone called her a New Yorker immediately. Apparently, yeah, that is a thing. If you go to like a steak place and you put sauce or whatever on it, it does insult them, but like nobody really cares that much, as far as I can tell. Maybe you'll run into the one guy who does give a shit, but yeah, it is seen as rude because like they season their steaks well enough where you shouldn't need sauce with it. But like, I'm a firm believer, if it's going to still enhance whatever you made, I'm gonna fucking use it, you know? Like if it's in the place for me to use, why would I not use it?
Before we leave, we unlock the danger zone.
But yes,
this
it
Void
is
2's
seen
version
as a
of the
rude thing
endless
to do.
dungeon from the first game. I didn't really do anything with this, but it's nice to see it's back.
The one thing that people don't believe me though on is how much Texas merchandise there is that you can buy. Like, it is crazy to go into some Texas Walmarts. You'll go into it, dude, and all the walls are covered in Texas shit. You got like Texas flags everywhere, and you can buy like Texas shirts. You can buy Texas rocks. They got rocks that are literally the shape of Texas for your garden. Like, it's like a cult for how much some people love Texas. It's crazy. That's like I spend the time seasoning my burger to my exact liking, and I think ketchup and mustard overpower it. But I still put it out when I cook for people. People fucking want it. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm the same way.
I didn't really do anything with this, but it's nice to see it's back for those who like the endless dungeon in the first game.
I'm also a very big person on all you need is pepper and nothing else. Like rice, just put pepper on it. You're good to go with that. Pepper is like pepper with vegetables, dude. All you fucking need. Don't need nothing else. Milk, put some pepper in it. You don't need nothing else with milk. Put so much pepper in it, it's like cereal.
Do the normal shenanigans till we do the normal.
Mario Golf on the 64's music, it's so nostalgic to me. And all I ever did for Mario Golf was play it at a McDonald's. But somehow the music is so fucking nostalgic to me. And like I played Mario Golf twice at a McDonald's. What do you put on your peppers? So I actually do not like peppers, like red peppers and bell peppers. I fucking hate those things. They're too spicy. So I would say you just throw those away.
We do the normal shenanigans so we make it back to where it all began. The corruption has for sure settled here, leaving traces of glitchy particles everywhere.
Yeah, if you want my opinion, just throw away your peppers. You don't need them. They don't enhance anything.
Everywhere. We make our way slowly to the terrarium, even stopping to examine.
I suck so much cock in Mario Golf 64 at an hour and a half, 9-hole game against Luigi. Dude, I suck at golf games, period. I cannot putt to save my fucking life. I don't know why I cannot putt in golf games, but it's the same with every single golf game I've ever played. I have to putt, dude, and I fuck it up every single time.
Particles everywhere. We make our way slowly to the terrarium.
Mario sports games are really cool. Like the only sports games I like. I did want to play one of the NBA 2Ks because they have like a story where you can like an actual like story mode where you go through like this whole thing of being like a nobody and then getting famous, and then like there's drama and stuff, and I wanted to play it and make like the really disturbing looking character, but I also like don't care about 2Ks. So.
We make our way slowly to the terrarium, even stopping to examine what was left of Factory AI's old shell of a body.
My favorite was when they had the guy from State Farm in 2K, and it was like a blatant advertisement, and they tried to make it seem like it wasn't.
AI's old shell of a body, as we make our last steps to Toriko's past home. The screen.
I thought I was getting good at the Yakuza golf game. You need to get 100% completion, and then they started putting varying wind flows that turn on and off, moving cardboard and walls in the way, and I felt I was doing like calculus or something. This last hole was smack it slightly to the left. It rots at Goodwill, so you're in no rush for 2K. I mean, the shit
goes past home.
The shit goes on sale for like, you literally, if you check like on GameStop, if you go to their site and you pick like the lowest or cheapest PS5 games, it's nothing but sports games.
As we make our last steps to Toriko's past home, the screen glitches out and we're greeted with...
My brother bought a PS5 for a college football game, and I asked him why, and he said it's because college football, they don't never do college football no more. So he also bought it for Persona 5 to play Persona 5 to keep playing his save file on the PS5. And then so when we learned that the save file from the PS4 version of Persona 5 doesn't carry over to the PS5, you have to start a whole new game.
The screen glitches out, and we're greeted with, back at our base of operations.
I'm going to redo this one. Give me a second. The screen glitches out, and then we're greeted with fuck you, NCAA 25 was good. I'm not saying it's a bad game. Like, I get it. The last college football game was like on the fucking PS3 or something, and it ended up being rare as shit because they stopped doing it. But I just think buying a whole fucking system for a football game, like, it's not even anime, dude. Come on, man. If you're gonna buy a system, at least make it an anime game. The screen glitches. Like, buying a whole system for like Attilia, dude, I understand. Football though, what are you stupid? And we're greeted with back. What are you, stupid? Judgment. Oh, I downloaded the PS5 version to delete it and download the PS version again because I was like, I'm not restarting. Last home. The screen glitches out, and then we're greeted with back at our base of operation. I don't know. Let's see what part that is, so I can just put the Void 5, 1 hour, 16:12. As you're not joking. All right, you know what? Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. We're gonna go grab all my PS5 games. We're gonna see which ones are anime. Give me a second. I'm gonna prove to you fucks, and this is me not remembering what I have. I'm gonna prove to you fucks I'm not a weeb. Give me a second.
We're preparing to dock. All aircraft breakaway.
Let me go grab them. I'm gonna prove to you fucks I'm not a weeb. I'm gonna prove right now. I think I fucked up. Literally looking at the list already. I don't want to do this. just looking at it so far. I don't know.
Now let's get back to the game. Keep up the good work.
All right. All right. After image. Hold on. Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me do this. After image. Fucking swallow that shit, camera. Here, just put me in there. All right, I'm gonna turn off the filter real quick. We're gonna prove that I'm not a weeb. All right. Okay. After image, not an anime game. The only character in this anime is the main character. Other than that, everyone else is a unique art style, not an anime game. Renatus, not an anime game. It's Kingdom Hearts style, not an anime. Not an anime. Kingdom Hearts never had an anime. So two right now, not anime. Metaphor, it's not an anime. It's Persona 5 style. So not an anime. 3 for 3. What can I say, buddy? 3 for 3. Christ Tales, not anime. This looks like a Western art style. Looks like Steven Universe. 4 for 4. Remnant, definitely not anime. So that's already another one. Katamari Damacy, not anime, dude. Literally, I think that's 7 for 7. All right. Oh. Guardian Galaxy, Marvel, literally the furthest from anime you can possibly get. Tales of Rise, 3D, not anime. Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts style, not anime. Fuck. I think this is Shin Megami Tensei 5, not anime. Also, fuck GameStop for sending me this stupid ass case. Scarlet Nexus, not anime. 3D, can't be anime. Looks like Steven Universe. Mortal Phoenix Rising, not anime. Battle in Wonderland, not anime. I think we're doing pretty good. Not Cyberpunk. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, not anime, dude. Jet Set Radio style. It's definitely not anime. Star Ocean 2, not anime, dude. Pixel art. So I think we're doing pretty good. I think I've been showing that I'm not an anime weeb. So Ghost Runner 2, not anime. Cyberpunk. This one, it's mechs, not anime. I mean, there is anime 2D portraits, but it doesn't count. This one, not anime, dude. It's art style, so not anime. Stellar Blade, actually, this is a Gunner game, but but it's not anime. Sandland, not anime, dude. It's made by the guy that made Dragon Ball Z. It's not anime. So Dragon Ball Z art style, definitely not anime. Tunnel 2, not anime. It's realistic people inside a realistic situation. Prime Machina, not anime, dude. It's 2D. So Final Fantasy 16, 3D, Kingdom Hearts style. Soul Hackers 2, not anime. Alright. You know what's gonna be annoying is putting all this motherfucker like shit back up. Let me so annoying put all this motherfucking shit back up, dude. Elden Ring, not anime, dude. It's FromSoft. We're confirmed. Wait, shit. Stranger's Paradise, not anime. Sonic Frontiers, just an awful game, but it's not anime. Returnal, literally, no, but it's a weird game. No, I keep the GameStop stickers on because it's cool, because it's like a little thing of like, oh, I got this back when it was around this price. But I could take them off. Pac-Man Repack, not anime. Arcade Mageddon, it's shitty shooter, but not anime. Stray, not anime. Gungrave Gore, not anime. Minecraft Legends, not anime. I think I literally nothing anime so far, so I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty much confirming I'm not a weeb. SpongeBob Cosmic Shake, not anime. Armored Core Robots, not anime. Valkyrie Asylum, not anime. Octopath Traveler 2, not anime. Fucking All-Star Kart Racer, not anime. Western. Animation, but not anime. Western, dude. And then shitty Dead Space clone. I think I proved that pretty well, that none of these are animes. Your 4 PS5 is legit just your comeback? What the fuck in here besides Stellar Blade was a Gunner game? What fucking else in here would I come to? The DreamWorks game? What fucking else in here would have been a cum game? I'll put those back later. I don't got time to put them back right now. Look at that, dude. I gotta put the filter back on. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. I just epically own these guys and showed them that I am not a weeb, so they feel epically owned right now. I would say that it was pretty much a savage owning if I've ever seen one before, so. Can you gulp louder when you drink your big boy soda? Like that? That's me smacking you for saying shit that makes me upset. You skipped a few, but I don't have proof. No, I don't think there was any proof. Yep, no anime here, buddy. Just pure good gaming. Pure bliss of gaming. Made me forget what I was doing. What was I doing? Because you guys made me forget. Okay, Void 5, 116, 12.
But now we're at now.
Okay.
Shell of a body as we make our last steps to Toriko's past home. The screen glitches out, and then we're greeted with. That's good, man. Gee, preparation for test subject T0 with out. And then the screen glitches out, and then we're greeted with. Gee, preparation for test subject T065 are complete. Good, commence the experiment. Rate of invasion 74%, velocity of interpolation is above predicted levels. Her body will be unable to endure this for much longer. Abort the experiment. Do not abort the experiment, just keep your mouth shut and continue as planned. The test subject will not break down that easily, it's stronger than you think. Just take care you don't break it intentionally. We still require it for vaccine research and production. As you insist. Back at our base of operations, we tell her what we learned, and it means it's time to dive into the vat again to see what we can discover from the knowledge we. Back at the base
Pretty
of
spooky.
operations, we tell her. Back at our base of operation. Back at our base of operation, we. Back at.
Man, I wonder why I kept fucking up.
Back at our base of operations, we tell Factory Eye what. See what we can discover from the knowledge we've gained. Back at our base.
What's so what position are you doing for your interview tomorrow? Is it a different place or is it that same place that seems really scummy?
Back at our base of operations, we tell Factory Eye what we've learned, and it means it's time to dive into the vat again to see what we can discover from the knowledge we've gained. She does stop us before we go and tells Robbie she's been thinking about Toriko and her. She does stop us from the knowledge we've gained.
Also, tomorrow we're gonna play that new Namco robot game that's coming out. So
she does
That's
stop
not
us
bad at
before
all,
we
man.
go and tells
Hopefully you
Robbie
get it.
she's been thinking about Toriko and her. She does stop us before we. She feels we've been too. She does stop us before we go and tells Robbie she's been thinking about Toriko and her happiness.
you want to redo back at our base of operations. Sounds like you're trying to speed through a script.
Back at our base of operations, we tell.
I can redo. Back at our base of operations,
Back at her base of operations. Okay, let me see if I can fit that in there before I need to redo the whole thing. Back at our base of operations, we tell Let me see if I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing or if I can just get away with that. Shut up. Shut up, dude. Operations. Back at our base of operations. Base of operations. We tell Factory I what we've learned, and it means it's operations. We tell Factory I what we've learned. Back at our base of operations, we tell Factory I what we've learned, and it means it's time to dive into the Vrat again to see what we can discover. To see. Yeah, I just sound a little better. Thank you. Usually, though, what I'm trying to do for the most part is just kind of get everything lined up, and then I'll go through and redo lines if they sound bad. To see what we can discover from the knowledge we've gained. She does stop us before we go and tells Robbie she's been thinking about Toriko and her happiness. But if something sounds off, just let me know. She feels we've been too. She tells Robbie she's been She feels Robbie's been too preoccupied with the VR missions and virtual Toriko's to the. She mentions we should really take a bit of. She feels Robbie's been too preoccupied with the VR missions and virtual Toriko's past to the point we've been neglecting our present day Toriko's happiness. She mentions we should really take a bit of time to put. She mentions we should take a bit of time to put into. She mentions we should take, but that's just glossed over because we have important matters. This is when we gain the ability to dress her up, and she mentioned happiness.
Doors Mask is a good game.
Time to put into.
Just wanted to say some controversial stuff, but it's a good game.
This is when we gain the ability. She mentions we should take some time to put into making sure that Toriko we have here is happier in this situation she resides in. This is when we gain the ability to dress her up in new outfits and hair design. The interesting detail now is that she will sometimes wear.
G, when will you stream a Doors Mask randomizer? If Lele's up for it, Friday. I could. No, Friday I want to stream the other game. I mean, I could still ask him if he wants to do it, but he probably want to do an OOT rando. I know you're making a joke, but I could honestly ask him if he wants to do a Majora's Mask rando Friday.
This is when we gain.
If only I had the patience for MM randos, I'd probably be doing them more often. I do want to do a Pokemon Nuzlocke sometime soon.
In this situation she resides in. This is when we gain the ability to dress her up in new outfits and hair design. The interesting detail now is that she will sometimes wear whatever she feels like, meaning you can dress her up one way to then come back and see her looking a bit different. It's a nice way to make Toriko feel more like a living, breathing person than our pet who popped. I actually really like this change. It's a nice way to make Toriko feel more like. I actually really like. The interesting detail now is that she will sometimes wear whatever. I actually really like. It's a nice way to make Toriko feel more like a living, looking a bit. Meaning you can dress her up one way to then come back and see her looking a bit different. It's a nice way. I actually really like this change. It's a nice way. It's a nice. The interesting detail now is that she will, meaning you can dress her up one way to then. It's a nice way to make Toriko feel more like a living, breathing person than our pet. It's a nice way to make Toriko feel more like a living, breathing person than our pet. Pet who just pooped. Than our. Breathing person than our pet. living, breathing person. Living, breathing person. Living, breathing person, then our
Hate that it fucking does this.
living, breathing. Living, breathing person. Feel more like a
May just end up redoing this audio.
more like a living, breathing.
If I can't get this to sound good.
Living, breathing. Way to make Toriko feel more like a living, breathing. Like a living. Like a living. Like a living, breathing. Feel more like a living, breathing person than our. Feel more like a living, breathing person than our pet who just poops on the ground and I neglect occasionally.
Oh, I fucked up on that part anyway.
I really like this.
I wasted my time on 2 parts I fucked up on anyway.
Different. Looking a bit. I really like this change on. Meaning you can dress her up one way to then come back and see her looking a bit different. It's honestly a nice way.
Where you're trying to fix audio that clearly is not good, and then my ass already planned for
Looking
that.
a bit different. It's honestly a nice way to make Toriko feel. It's a really cool way to make Toriko.
I don't know why I struggled so much to just say it's a nice way to fucking make Toriko feel like a more living, breathing person. I don't know why I kept struggling with
A
that.
bit different. It's a really cool way to make Toriko feel more like a living, breathing person than, you know, our pet who poops on the ground. And I occasionally neglect for the casino. Here comes the money, baby! Let's go! Where's the money at, baby? Yeah, give me that fucking money, bitch!
Good part. This video is probably going to be about because this is so all this right here is not even the full thing read yet. So this video is probably going to be a good hour 30 minutes to maybe hour 40.
Here comes the money, baby!
So we'll have to see. It's gonna be longer than the first script, and then eventually I'll do a compilation video of both of them into one video.
Another addition.
Look at CQ consuming money while neglecting his child. Hey man, the 3Ds, dude. 3Ds. Remember them well. I got 3Ds. Doe, dinero, dead child. Doe, dinero, dead child. The 3Ds, man.
Another addition I love that Void 2 adds. Another addition I love that Void 2 adds is the ability to leave behind items and skills for you to pick up on your way back.
Yeah, and I still have to record, I think, 10 more pages,
The
and then
problem
I would have everything done. But if I do a compilation video of the two, that probably won't come out until like maybe after the next video. So like I'll finish this, release it, another video, and then probably do a compilation video. And then I'll try to change up any mistakes from that I could find and try to make it just seem a bit better and worth watching for someone who wants to watch both at once.
The problem I have with this comes down to
Also, anyone, if you guys want, what's your feedback on the sleeping thing? Would you guys want more of that shit? I doubt any of you really slept to it, but would you want more of it? Was it interesting enough for it to be something you would want to see more of?
The problem I have with this comes down to unless you're going to the same route as last time,
I like making ambient shit like that, so, and I'd rather use my own content for the most part.
going to the same route as last time, it will disappear if you die again or don't pick it up on your next expedition track. It's still neat, but not. It never came into play with much. It's still neat, and I wouldn't remove. It will disappear if you die again. It's still neat, but more often than not, it never came into play. It's still neat. It's still neat, and I wouldn't remove it, but more often than not, it never came into play with helping me. It's still neat, and I wouldn't. We do some of the requests the doctor got. It's still a next expedition track. It's still a neat idea, and I wouldn't remove it, but more often than not, it never came into play much with helping me. We do some of the requests the doctor guy asked of us, and he finally brings us to a room. We see Tariko. We do some requests for this doc. We do some requests for this doc. As we see Tariko as we see Tariko as we see Tariko, we do some requests for this doctor guy in the VR world, and he finally brings us to a room. As we see the green hair lady tells it. As we see Tariko surrounded by these scientists, just like we witnessed in our flashback. The green hair lady tells it. The green hair lady.
Make sure he's
the
saved.
green haired lady tells them how Tariko's body. The green hair lady. The green hair lady. The green hair.
Go and just put a sample pack, and I tried to download it.
The green hair lady.
missed
The
the-
green.
I actually want to see what sample pack he.
The green hair lady. The green haired lady. The green hair lady. The green haired lady tells them how Tariko's body. The green haired lady tells the scientists how body will fail at this rate. The green haired in the experiment must.
God damn, boy.
The green haired lady.
Guess I couldn't fucking read green hair and lady right.
The green haired lady shouts out how Tariko's body will fail at this rate if they continue, and the experiment must cease operation. In the experiment must cease operation.
Here, bear back. I'm gonna go use the restroom, guys.
We're preparing to
Enjoy the
dock.
music
All
while
aircraft
BRB.
break away.
Now let's get back to the game. Keep up the good work.
Sorry about that. I didn't know the music stopped. I'm back. Let's continue. How much more do I have? A fucking good amount.
We hear the doctor known as Dr. Guy. Come on, dude. Who wrote the VR?
This isn't even part of the script. I just genuinely hate that the fucking doctor is called Dr. Guy.
We hear the doctor known as Dr. Guy.
Like, genuinely, I think it's so stupid his name is Dr. Guy.
Hear the doctor known as Dr. Guy. Come on, dude. Who wrote the shit, dude? You literally any other name? Dr. Guy?
Like, this wasn't part of the script. I genuinely just hate that they fucking call this man Dr. Guy.
The VR shit, dude. You literally any other name? Dr. Guy? I fucking hate the VR world, dude. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so lazy. Dr. Guy? I fucking hate the VR world, dude. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so lazy. Dr. Guy yells back to continue. Most players at this point will probably realize this matches with what we win. Most players at this so much. It's so lazy. Most players at this point will probably realize this matches what we witnessed from our... Most players at this point will probably realize that this event is... You know, the things that are... Most players at this point will
I'm gonna have to
probably
get a haircut
realize
soon.
that
I'm
this
probably gonna end
event
up getting a haircut 2 weeks before I go to
You know,
Boston.
the things that are only supposed to matching what we witnessed from the memory shard. You know the things that are only supposed to show. You know the things that are. And no helper bot or Robbie was in this scene for. You know the things that are only supposed to show us the past. Show us the past. And no helper bot or Robbie was in this scene from the memory shard, but is now here. Was it with it playing exactly?
I would be very interested to see if there's someone who actually likes the VR missions in Void Terrarium 2 and would have to defend them, because I think they're so ass.
From the memory shard.
But I would love to see someone defend them and see why they wouldn't be ass, but like, it would be a lot to defend it.
Now here, with it playing exactly the same way? Again, I hate the VR world, dude. It's so awfully implemented and doesn't follow any of the rules it sets for itself. I'm pretty sure that one of the things that they try to have be... Again, I hate the VR world, dude. It's so awfully implemented and doesn't follow any of the rules it sets for itself. Way? Again, I hate the VR world, dude. It's so awfully implemented and doesn't follow any of the rules it sets for itself. I'm pretty sure that one of the things that they try to have be known is all these events are being... But again, there's no robot in the... Be known. They try to have be known is all these events are being witnessed by robots that were there at the time helping humans. But again, there's no robot in the past here.
Okay, I'm gonna redo this part completely.
Pretty sure one of the things that they try to have be, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, let me redo this. I'm pretty sure what they're trying to go for is have it, you know, I'm pretty sure what they're trying to go for is have the idea that the Robbies that were in the past are where. I'm pretty sure what they're going for with the idea is that the Robbies from the past is how you're witnessing these events happening, but none of the flashbacks, but none of the flashbacks ever show any Robbies whatsoever. Okay. That one I don't even think I written the script. I think that was just me like adding. So I'm just gonna continue with that because I don't even think I even wrote that in the script. What editing? They edit? I don't believe you. Doot, 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 doot. This song is a bit loud and down a bit. Okay. I don't remember who it was, but it was an unedited VOD of someone who does video essays, and someone responded to something they said with, "You stutter a lot. I thought you'd be as clear as your videos, as they're like my scripted, heavily research edited videos." No. I remember it's not the same, but there was a comment. I think I can't remember if it was towards me or someone else. But they were surprised that my video wasn't all one take or someone's video. I can't remember whose. But I remember they're like, "Wow, this is scripted and not one take. That's kind of sucks." And I was just like, "Huh?" No, yeah, like people that expect you to talk the same way you would in a heavily edited and scripted video, it's not gonna happen.
After witnessing Virtual Toriko be experimented on, he tells us how this will really be beneficial to curing the feline disease.
I really wish I could remember where I saw
yeah,
that comment. I think it was towards one of my videos, but I can't remember.
So yeah, Toriko is being used for testing to cure a disease that is only present in the virtual world.
Because I know they were addressing something I was doing.
Which is again the real life past. But this disease is never mentioned ever, which is again the real life beneficial to curing the feline disease. So yeah, Toriko is being used for testing to cure a disease that is only present in the virtual world. Disease that is only present in the virtual world, which is again the real life past. But this disease is never past. But this disease is never mentioned ever once in the first game, nor do anyone outside of the Vrat machine ever talk about. We finished. Nor do any.
I'm gonna redo this one real quick. Nor does anyone outside the Vrat machine even talk about it.
This disease is never mentioned, nor do anyone outside of the Vrat machine ever talk about it.
I think one of my biggest regrets
Nor do anyone else.
so far in videos was mentioning the soft lock I had in Little Goody Two Shoes, and how many people that seemed to have pissed off. So many people are like, I've had so many comments that are upset that I mentioned that there was a soft lock, and then they'll mention a way that the soft lock was solved, and it'll be something completely out of fucking nowhere that you would not even known you could have done, when my solution was just to add an item there just in case if someone was to play the way I did. And even then, I made very clear that it was my fault the soft lock happened. And all the comments were basically saying that the game is idiot proof and that they don't understand why I mentioned that, and that the game, it's not the game's fault, it's my fault. As I mentioned, it's my fault. So I think that, like, to this day, I just wish I didn't say anything about that fucking soft lock. Because I made it clear that, like, it was my fault, that, like, the game shouldn't be held at any regards for being bad because of my stupidity with how I played. And one of the workarounds apparently was the last, before you do that mission, the last festival, apparently you can play those mini games and it doesn't take away any energy. And the game never fucking tells you this. And I remember I mentioned, I was like, how am I supposed to know that something that's been set in stone for the whole playthrough somehow changes at the very end and it's never told to you? And you just expect me to know? But yeah, no, it's just that whole soft lock part. I just was like, man, I don't know how else I could have worded it, where the only reason why I'm like suggesting a fix is just like, hey, here's a soft lock that can happen. Here's a way to fix it pretty easily. Because Pokemon even did that shit, where they were soft locks you had to cause yourself. You had to go out of way yourself to do, and they still added fixes for it because that's what you should do. But I remember it pissed off so many people with that, and it's just like, I still don't understand why.
Nor does anyone outside the Rat Machine even talk about it.
Me and my brother completely separately with no input from each other got soft locked in the same spot in Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Funny bit about that was he said it probably won't happen to you, and when I got soft lock I went and got him and he recognized it, and I just went, yeah, it was here, you're fucked.
Nor does anyone outside the Rat Machine even talk about it. We finish up in the
But yeah, and I just thought it was funny that
we finish up in the VR world.
That, like, I praised fucking Little Goody Two Shoes, said it was my game of the year for that year, and it still is. And somehow me just mentioning a single soft lock that I caused myself, made clear that I caused myself basically by how I played, made so many people upset. And people were like, one comment even was assuming that I got the soft lock because I didn't have time to do what the game was telling me to do. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they just like put words in my mouth and said that I mentioned at one point, I was like, I don't have time for that. And then that's what caused my soft lock. But I was like, I couldn't find that part of the video that they said I was saying that in. So I still don't know where they got that I said that. But no, it literally was a soft lock I caused myself, and I provided a solution. It's crazy that everything else I said about the game was like, oh, this is great, that's the part that they dwelled on. And then one person mentioned because I didn't do a certain side thing, that I was basically like blaming the game again for the soft lock. And I was like, just because I didn't do a certain side story doesn't mean that I'm blaming the game for being bad or whatever. I was like, that's fine. I was like, missable side stories, that's perfectly fine to have in a game. Like, some people get it, some people won't. I was like, I think that just adds to more how people play games differently. Yeah, I was like, should I just not have mentioned the soft lock that I had happen? I was like, because I even said very clear verbatim, I was like, I'm only mentioning a fix here just in case if the devs want to do it, which they do not have to. And I mentioned, I was like, they don't have to. I was like, the only reason why I'm mentioning it is because I know for a fact someone will probably do what I did, end up getting to this soft lock, and then going, this game fucking sucks. Because my other option, which again, yes, I should have used the saves more, which I made clear I should have, but my other save was like so long ago in the game I didn't want to redo everything. But I also feel personally, this is me,
and this is a bash to the game, I feel like if you have to rely on save scumming to hope that you don't reach a soft lock or hope that you don't, like, that you just can't progress, I think at that point the game's not designed well enough, unless you don't progress anymore because you purposely were just fucking being horrible at the game. But like, I think when you have to abuse save scumming or saving to make sure your game works, it's like there should be another way to make that better designed, and that goes for any game. Like, I could not imagine playing a Pokemon game and the game tells you need to save like every 5 minutes or risk the fucking chance of just being stuck and not being able to progress, you know. But at the end of the day, I still loved Little Goody Two Shoes, and it's weird that I spent an hour and 30 minutes basically praising it, and probably like 10 minutes of that was me kind of going into detail about the soft lock. Probably less than that, and that's what everybody seemed to hold on to. We finish up in the VR world by talking with Toriko's mom as she begs for any information on her and her whereabouts. For any information on her and her whereabouts. We finish up in the VR world by talking with mom as she begs for any information on her daughter and her whereabouts. This is when... Thank God I redid that. But yeah, no, I mean, the way my videos are structured, it's kind of like you're watching me tell you how to play the fucking game. Like, I would say my videos feel like a walkthrough slash like review. That's how I kind of structure my shit. I had one person said that the video would have been better if there wasn't jokes every 5 minutes, and I took that as a compliment, because there's no fucking way when I was editing Little Goody Two Shoes would I have been capable enough to even make shitty jokes every 5 minutes. Like, I'm not that fucking good. So I was like, the fact that this man apparently knows to joke every 5 minutes tells me that I'm a secret comedy genius, because that's crazy. We finish up. I just told him I'll put more in next time. We finish up. I couldn't really think of, like, I really could not think of which jokes he was talking about. Like, I know one of them was like the fucking Lebkuchen having a gigantic fucking chin. What is that? What is that? I guess Strudo was playing with something, but I don't see him over there. I was playing the game. Completely level, nothing funny comes to mind. We finish up in the VR world by talking with Toriko's mom as she begs for any information on her daughter and her whereabouts. This is when she soon learns about her This is when she soon learns that her were asked to make a key card to the But I don't know. I feel like too, if you click on my channel and then just expect my content to not be fucking cringe after seeing like my profile picture and everything and like everything else on here, you're just setting yourself up to fail. This is when she soon learns that her daughter is being used as a test subject for the vaccine experiments. Watch a lot of videos and people's playthrough games I played myself and playthroughs on for a lifetime, but like half of what makes me watch stuff is people's personalities. Yeah, that's my thing. Like, it's hard for me to watch game reviewers honestly nowadays, because a lot of them for the vaccine experiments. A lot of them don't seem like they're being like trying to be genuine. They just seem like they're trying to either copy something, or they're being too technical. Which, I mean, I'm all for technical reviews, but I think that I usually with those, I'll watch those to see about buying the game. But I'm never watching them to be like, oh, I really want to watch this person. It's always just like, hey, if I'm looking up a game and they're the ones that talk about it, I'll do that. The only one I can think of that I really genuinely like watching that is like that, it's probably like Game Racks or whatever. That one that does before you buy.
For the most part, though, I usually try to stick with like people that are just kind of like more about their self and their personality. I can actually show a YouTuber recently I started watching. Let me pull up his channel. I started watching this guy because he does Star Fox reviews, which I need to rewatch one of his videos because I was watching one and I fell asleep. But let me find it. Where the fuck is it? Okay, here he is. So this is him. I've started watching this guy. I'll link it in the YouTube chat. I'll link it in the YouTube chat and I'll put it in the Twitch chat because I don't have my fucking restream up on the PC. But yeah, I've been watching him. His stuff is pretty good. He seems pretty wholesome. But yeah, I've been watching his Star Fox videos, so. He has a lot of content, but I've not been watching a lot of his stuff. A lot of his stuff though seems to be Let's Plays. He recently seems to start doing actual reviews, which I mean is usually how it goes. Like a lot of my older shit on a lot of my other channels was just Let's Plays.
We're asked to make a key card to the facility we're asked to make an experiment. We're asked to make
I'm gonna have to redo that line. It sounds like I'm saying we're ass.
We're asked to make a key card to the facility using the blueprint she gives us so we can break. But while exploring,
let me redo this line real quick. We get asked to make a key card for the facility to break her out. We get asked by Toriko's mom to make a key card to the facility to help break Toriko out and save her. That's just me making that one up on the spot. Poor ass. Didn't mean to play in reverse. Sorry, just summon a fucking demon. Sorry about the demon we just summoned. Hopefully that won't inconvenience anyone.
We're asked to make a key the facility using the blueprint she gives us so we can break
and save her.
Experiments.
We get asked by Toriko's mom to
as a test subject for the vaccine experiments.
We get asked by Toriko's mom to make a key card to the facility to help break Toriko out and save her.
But while exploring, real life Toriko has gotten sick. And I know I said the first game illnesses were disturbing. The second one really knew how to make those seem tamed in comparison.
I mean, it sounded like you were putting effort in, dude. I just think at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. I don't think you lost because you didn't put enough effort.
I'll let my reaction speak for itself. Yeah.
All right, let me see when that plays so I can put that in there.
I'll let my reaction speak for itself. Well, the second one really knew how to make the.
Really new. Void 7, 123.40. Well then, no, I would say then for next time, just keep that in mind. But also, same time too, I would say it would help if the fucking tournaments didn't take 3 months to fucking do. Well then, see, I mean, look at that, dude. I would say then, just from that alone, you already show promise. 123.40.
And I know I said the first game illnesses were disturbed for itself.
What's wrong with you? What? Toriko's stomach has grown in size, not inflation. No! No! I mean,
Wait,
even then,
no,
for
she's
a
not
casual,
pregnant. Oh,
I would say that's pretty good.
That's even worse.
I would say that's still pretty good. You were able to keep up with people who are actually trying, you know.
Do not tell me that this child is pregnant. What the fuck? My apologies, my circuits are just a little frazzled. Yeah. Guys, not inflation. No. No. Wait, no, she's not pregnant. Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse. Do not tell me that this child is pregnant. What the fuck? Yeah.
Doodle, you're scaring me. That made me think someone's at the door.
Rico is pregnant. Yeah. Rico is pregnant. Thankfully, Furia didn't go into.
You just go to that part. I already explained that she's
What the
pregnant.
fuck? Thankfully, Furia didn't go into. Thankfully, Furia didn't go the route of her getting impregnated, as it's just a parasite growing inside her. Messed up, but the route of her getting impregnated, as it's just a parasite growing inside her. Still messed up, but hey, Furia did deliver on the shock value, so. But the game forces us to deal with that later, as the new cooler Toriko needs help. Needs our help. Needs our help. Back in
One of the things too I hate about Void Terrarium 2, is that anytime something really bad is happening to Toriko, it always seems like just like a more inconvenience to the characters than it does like to seem like an actual worry thing we should care about. While in the first game, like if something bad happened to Toriko, you gave a shit. You're like, oh shit, well that's not good. We got to make sure she's fine. In Void Terrarium 2, when something bad happens to Toriko, they're just kind of like, oh well, this sucks. We got to deal with it. But then like once they're done, they just go back inside the VR world and they're too busy with fucking virtual Toriko to give a shit. That's like my issue, is just like they kind of treat Toriko, which is the main purpose of everything, as an afterthought for a fucking computer Toriko.
Back in VR, we go to free her from her prison, but all that we find is a notebook in a box. Back in the VR world, we go to free her from
Damn,
her
there's something
prison,
over
but
there.
all that we find is a no. Back in the VR world, we go to free her from her prison, but all that we find is a notebook and a box the game mentioned book and a box the game mentions is suspiciously big enough to fit Toriko. Find is a notebook and a box the game mentions is suspiciously big enough to fit Toriko inside. Looking inside the notebook, we see it's full of childlike drawings and writing that says, things I would like to do when I go. Things I would like to do when I get to go. Writing that says, things I would like to do when. Things I would.
It's good to see Noodle outside though playing.
Says, things I would like to do
When
when
she
I get
first
to go
got here,
outside.
all she would do is sit under the bed. And now she'll sit under the bed, but then she'll come out and she'll play with shit. Play with one of the toys.
Go outside. When we take the box to Toriko's mom to have her, we rush over to outside. We rush over to Toriko's mom. We rush over to Toriko's mom to have her. However, we sadly we rush over to Toriko's mom to have her help us open the box. We rush over to Toriko's mom to have her help.
Let me see if I can save.
I get to go outside. When we take the box to Toriko's mom to have her, we rush over. When we take the box to, we rush over to Toriko's mom to have we rush over to Toriko's mom as things I would like to do when I get to go outside. Things I would like to do when I get to go outside. We rush over to Toriko's mom. We rush over to Toriko's mom to have her help us mom to have her help us open over to Toriko's mom to have her help us open the box. However,
That's pretty good.
we sadly discover Toriko was put into glass. Toriko was put into glass jars, as all that remains is her body parts. I also mentioned before.
I gotta redo that line.
Toriko was put into glass jars. Toriko was blended into paste and put inside a Toriko was blended into paste and put inside a glass jar. Let me see how that sounds. If anything, the line I have there is fine. It's just the first Toriko part. It's like fuck. Did Sony Vegas crash? No, it didn't. It's still well shit. The Toriko part's just fucking up. Toriko was blended into paste and put inside a bunch of glass jars. The Toriko part is the problem. It's just not. The fuck? Tor. Okay. Toriko was. Okay, hold on. T. Okay. Toriko was blended into paste and put inside a bunch of glass jars. I think the problem is it's not catching that first Tor. So I was talking there, and then I started talking while it was still catching it. So let's see if that helped. Yeah, that actually worked. That sounds like that my noise suppression is a bit too much. Yo, for the sub, Tina 86 roses. Get it. I don't know if they're here right now, but thank you. I do just be getting random YouTube subscribers sometimes for videos. I think my Planet Da video is already past 18K last time I checked. It was pretty cool. I gotta redo that one. To calm her. Okay, yeah. To calm her parents down from seeing her to calm her parents down from seeing their own daughter blended into soup. I'll have to fucking edit my my noise suppression sometime soon. Like the fact that I have to, yeah, the fact that I have to sit there and say that means the noise suppression's a bit. Let me do this. I can probably just do this real quick. Filters, noise suppression. We'll put it at 45, and I'm gonna record. I do this real quick. ET Torico, see how that sounded. Th- I actually, I think it would be let me try raising the gain on my mic actually. Torico. Okay, let me check that. Nah, it's the gain. Yeah, it's this fucking suppression.
All right, I'm gonna turn it from that one to this one, and we're gonna see how Toriko. Toriko, yeah, Toriko, 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 Toriko. Hey, I changed the noise suppression level. Okay, yeah, that works. It literally as soon as I said Toriko came through. I guess the noise suppression was just a bit much. Well, I can tell you right now, we're probably not playing After Image today. I have to edit. But we're getting close to finishing it. Did Sunny Vegas crash? Nope. Okay, we're good. The reason why that bothered me so much is that Robbie tells Toriko's parents they're in a virtual world is because the whole reason, again, we're here is to learn about the past and learn about Toriko and see if we can find like cures and shit. But then Robbie goes in there and he just fucks everything beyond belief. So none of this is no longer the past anymore. This is all just new shit. Like it's basically a different timeline. But the game is adamant on like this is the past. So it really upsets me. I wanna make sure. I should have probably checked this. I want to make sure what I ordered is actually in this. I don't know why I didn't check it yet. How do I open it without fucking the box up? Oh. Yeah. Oh shit, it's sealed too. The only thing that's not sealed is the DVD, but the music's sealed, which I'll probably keep sealed. And the game's sealed. Makes me now want to keep it sealed, honestly. I wish they didn't give it to me sealed. Because now that makes me want to keep the game sealed. I think with this DVD though, this is all the shorts, not the shorts that I found on the other DVD. These are the but they're like the shorts that played when the commercial breaks happen. Because one of these I recognize, the merry-go-round one. Future, the past, and the Christmas present. Yeah, no, it's just like the whole reason you're here is to learn about the past. The only two things you learn about Toriko is they killed her. So they killed her and she was being experimented on. So yeah, now I'm wondering about I want to keep that shit sealed now because I get to emulate the game, but now it's just like I don't know. Come on. Honestly, this is like the worst part of editing for me. It's because all my filters for my mic are on Streamlabs and not Audacity. So usually what I do is I record all this on Streamlabs and then I go through and edit out the mistakes, but it takes so long to do it. It to me this is the worst part of editing. Fuck now. Oh. Just gonna record the thankfully. Also, my bad. I just realized I forgot to unmute the audio. Thankfully, I had to do that. Thankfully, for Toriko's sake, for Toriko's sake, thankfully, for Toriko's sake, thankfully, for Toriko's sake, thankfully, we now don't have to talk about the, we now don't, we now don't
Thankfully, we now don't have to talk about the VR world in much more detail till near the end.
I'm gonna just read you that whole line right there.
We now don't have to talk more about the VR world till the very end. We now don't have to talk much about the VR world until the very. We now don't have to talk about much. We now don't have to talk about much for the VR world till the very end. We now don't have to talk. We now don't have to talk much about the VR world till the very end of the game. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't know why I just fucking struggle to read sometimes. Some days, like I've had it sometimes where I'll read through the scripts just fine. Like the first recordings of the script, I wasn't really having any issues. And then like other days, I'll just like struggle beyond belief. We now don't have to talk about. Thankfully, we now don't have to talk about. We now don't. To talk much about. Thankfully, we now don't have to talk much about the VR world till the very end of the game. We now don't have to talk much about the VR world till the very end of the game. Thankfully, we now don't have to talk about the VR world in much more detail till near the end.
Well, that was better than
Let's go back.
what I just recorded, so cool.
Thankfully, we now don't have to talk. Thankfully.
I'm glad. That's another problem too. I'll sit here and try to fix mistakes, and then literally if I just play a little bit more, I already fixed it.
As they were only doing it for Toriko's sake. Thankfully, we now. As they were only doing it for Toriko's sake. Thankfully, we now don't have to talk about the VR world in much more detail. Let's go.
Actually, the thankfully still was better.
Thankfully, we now.
Hey, that should...
sake. Thankfully, we now don't have to talk about the VR world in much more detail till near the end.
Wait, I think...
Let's go back to Factory Eye and figure out near the end. Let's go back to Factory Eye and figure out what is inside Toriko's stomach cavity. For now, though, let's go back to Factory Eye and figure out. What's going on. Or I would say we would do that, but Factory. For now, though, let's go back to Factory Eye and figure out. For now, though, let's go back to Factory Eye and figure out what's going on inside Toriko's stomach.
I'll redo that one.
For now, let's go back to Factory Eye and figure out what's going on with Toriko's stomach.
Bro, they did not have to make the fucking Mario Party 2 credit theme sound so good. Yeah, there's a lot of segments of that where like the game will tell you nothing and you just have to go do 5 floors and then come back and then the game will be like, okay, let's do this now.
This is when we learn about the parasite that's inside her stomach, and this is when we learn that Toriko has a parasite that's inside her and is feeding off the nutrients of her body. This is when we learn about the parasite that's in This is when we learn about the parasite that's inside of This is when we find out about the parasite that's inside of her that is feeding off the nutrients from her body. That is feeding off her nutrients from her body. Okay. That works. This is when we learn about the parasite that's inside her stomach, and this is body. We can't do This is when we learn about This is when we find out about the parasite. We can't do nutrients from her body. This is when we find out about the parasite that's inside of her that is feeding off the nutrients from her body. We can't do surgery on it either, as she's way too weak to survive. As she's nutrients from her body. This is when we find out about the parasite that's inside of her that is feeding off her nutrients from her body. We can't do surgery on it either, as she's way too weak to survive the can't do surgery on the parasite. We do think about doing surgery. We can't do surgery on the parasite either to survive the removal of her body. We do think about doing surgery, but because Toriko is too weak to survive the removal of it, that is no longer an option. Surgery, but because
I'm gonna read you this one too.
The idea of surgery comes up, but
okay.
The idea of but because Toriko but it's from her body. The idea of surgery comes up, but it's from her body. The idea of surgery comes up, but it's from her body. But because Toriko is too weak to survive the removal of it, that is no longer.
I'm gonna redo that whole part.
Toriko is way too weak to survive the removal Toriko is way too weak to survive the removal process of the parasite, so that is no longer an option. Way too weak to survive the removal Toriko is comes up, but Toriko is way too weak to survive the removal process of parasites, so that is no longer comes up, but Toriko is way too weak to survive the removal process of the parasite, so that is no longer an option. Meaning comes up, but Toriko is way too weak to survive the removal process of the parasite, so that is no longer an option. Meaning
Hold on. The NX RPG is such a fucking weird looking game, but I'm actually quite interested in it. It's this one right here, literally a dancing RPG. So it's by NX, the people that became Square. So
Thumbs up, but Toriko is way too weak to survive the removal process of the, meaning we're left with one thing to do. The removal process of the parasite, so that is no longer an option, meaning we're left with one thing to do. We gotta raise it as our own by keeping her fed. By keeping her as our own. By keeping her fed, we can keep the parasite from killing her in the process. This soon leads to a moment in the story that straight up pisses me off. Like, I don't know who the hell was writing for Factory in the process. This soon straight up pisses me off. Like, I don't know who the hell was writing for Factory AI that day, but once the parasite is done feeding on Toriko, she decides she can't kill it. Since we've been making sure it can stay alive. So she tells me she wants to keep it. She wants to own the parasite. She wants to keep the parasite alive. She wants to, again, keep the parasite alive, which is the thing that was trying. So hear me out about how stupid this is. She wants to own the parasite, which is, again.
And I think I want to put a clip there of me. Void 7 22517. The parasite. Robbie, please forgive me. I have developed a minuscule attachment to the little parasite. I don't think I have the capacity to dispose of it. I'll fucking kill it. I don't think I... Yeah, no, looking at this, so I see why people assume this is a dancing game, because, like, literally, this looks like a DDR dancing game to me. But that's cool, you had fun with it. I'll try to get to it. I can promise you I will make a video on it because it looks interesting enough. I just don't know when I'll make a video on it. I don't think I have the capacity to minuscule attachment to the little parasite. Forgive me, I have developed a minuscule attachment to the little parasite. But yeah, I can at least promise you for sure that I will play it and make a video on it. I just don't know when.
But once the parasite is done feeding on Toriko, she's sure it can stay alive. Forgive me, I have developed a minuscule attachment to the little parasite. Besides, she can't kill it since we've been making sure it can stay alive. Forgive me, Besides, she can't dispose of it. I'll fucking kill it. I'll throw that goddamn thing in the trash.
But that's cool you're able to do it though without really any like walkthrough, because I don't think there's much gameplay on that game at all on YouTube, because I remember when I first saw it I was interested in it, but I couldn't find shit for it, so I just assumed it was a dancing game for the long.
She can't kill it since we've been making sure it can stay alive.
Forgive me, I have developed a minuscule attachment to the little parasite. I don't think I have the capacity to dispose of it. I'll fucking kill it. I'll throw that goddamn thing in the trash.
So hear me out about how stupid this is. About how stupid this is. She wants to own the parasite, which is again the thing that was trying to kill Toriko for its survival. So tell me if you think this is also dumb. She wants to own the parasite, which is against to own the. She wants to own the parasite. We let the chance of humanity restoring faith. She wants to own. Let's get this straight. Okay. Stupid this is. She wants to own the parasite, which is again the thing that was trying to kill Toriko. Remember, we let the chance of We let the chance of Toriko. We let the chance of humanity restoring fade away because the guy wanted to kill her to do it. So now when we have a parasite because the guy wanted to kill her to do it. So now when we have a parasite who popped out of her abdomen and was draining her and leaving her in withering pain and suffering, and she's now wanting to save it? Factory AI, what are you doing? Factory AI, what the hell are you doing? You're telling me this parasite is keeping alive. You're telling me this parasite is worth keeping alive over the chance of humanity coming back that we didn't let happen because you feel remorse for it? You felt remorse for killing the humans, didn't you? That was supposed to be your whole character thing. The main motivation for keeping. You felt remorse for.
I have to redo this lineup here.
You felt remorse for killing the humans, didn't you? That was supposed to be your whole character thing. The main motivation for keeping Toriko alive. The main motivation for keeping. Remorse for killing the humans, didn't you? That was supposed to be your whole character thing. Your whole character thing. The main motivation for keeping Toriko alive since you felt bad about letting the rest of them die. I don't believe Furia I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe Furia wanted to make a sequel to this series. The rest of them die. I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe Furia wanted to make a sequel to this series. This overall just feels so This game wanted to make a sequel to this series. The storyline just feels so half-assed, and the narrative just feels so half-assed in so many ways. It acts like how they should. The narrative just feels so half-assed in so many ways, and no one acts like how they should. It's baffling how
Dude, I'll be so glad to finally be done with Void Terrarium, dude. I swear to God, they make a third game.
The narrative just feels so half-assed in so many ways, and no one acts like how they should. It's baffling how awful this is to experience. I legit don't know what this is to experience. I legit don't know what was going on in the writer's room, but I feel even after taking 10 grams of magic mushrooms, I could have came up with a better. Oh, we also unlocked a second.
I'm gonna have to redo that part. Let me redo it real quick. I don't know what was going on in the writing room that day, but I feel like even me, after taking 10 grams of mushrooms, could come up with a better plot that would make more sense. I saw a playlist from one Japanese YouTuber who was uploading gameplay videos on the game, but as of now, she has only gotten to stage 7 or stage 8, at least 75% of the whole game complete. How difficult would it be for someone, like, let's say if I wanted to complete it, how difficult would you honestly say it was?
On in the writer's room. To experience.
I know for a fact though, I'll try to use a translator app just to kind of translate text.
I don't know what was going on in the writing room that day, but I feel like even me, after taking 10 grams of mushrooms, could come up with a better plot that would make more sense. Oh, we also unlocked a second terrarium. I never used it for anything, but it's still a neat addition if you want to make 2 homes. After all of the anger I felt, we talked with Factory Eye. After all of the anger I felt, we I never used it for anything, but it's still a neat addition if you want to make 2 homes. Oh, we also unlocked a second terrarium. I never used.
Let me redo that one. I never used it for anything, but it's still a neat. I never really used it for anything, but it's still cool if you want 2 homes.
But it's still a neat addition. I never really used it for any. but it's still cool if you want to, home. After all of the anger I felt, we talk with Factory Eye, and she goes into a sad...
I don't understand, like I said, why Mario Golf music is so nostalgic to me.
I never really used it for anything, but it's still cool if you want to, Holmes. I never really... After all of the anger you want to, Holmes. After all of the anger I felt, we talk with Factory Eye, and she goes into a sad speech about Toriko's health and how any day she could just perish. Even though this is right after her wanting to keep a thing alive that tried to kill her, but go alive that tried to kill her, but...
Okay, I have to redo that. Even though this is just after her wanting to keep something alive that tried to kill her, but you know what? Go off, Factory Eye. You apparently know so well. You apparently care so much about Toriko's health. You apparently care so much about Toriko's health and safety. You would have to get pretty creative with video clipping in order to get at least a mega hit or a great hit ranking in the VC awards and stayed 7 to 10 in order to pass it. I mean, would real life editing carry over enough?
Even though this is right after her wanting to... Even though this is just after... You know what? You apparently know so... But you know... Even though this is just after her wanting to keep something alive that tried to kill her, but you know what? Go off, Factory Eye. You apparently know so well. You apparently care. You know what? Go off, Go on. Factory Eye. So much about Toriko's health and safety. You apparently care so much about Toriko's health and safety. Factory Eye decides we need to make sure Toriko is happy before... Factory Eye... and safety. Factory Eye decides we need to make sure Toriko is happy before she passes away, and we decide... Factory Eye mentions we should make sure This is when Factory Eye brings up a plan about how we should make Toriko happy. This is what... You apparently care so much about Toriko's health and safety. This is when Factory Eye brings up a plan about how we should make Toriko happy before she passes away, and we decided... Factory Eye decides we need to make sure Toriko is happy before she passes, and we decided to accomplish this... Factory Eye decides we need to make sure Toriko is happy before she passes away, and we decided to accomplish... before she passes away, and we decided to accomplish this goal by going back to the book we found. And we decided to accomplish this goal by going back to this book and we decided to... Our plan is to do the stuff she wrote down, and we call it Our plan is to do this...
Man, I know for a fact this part I kept fucking up
Toriko is
bad
happy
on
before she passes away, and we decided to accomplish this goal by going back to the book we found. Our plan is to do the stuff she wrote down, and our plan is to do the stuff she wrote down and call it Operation Make All of Toriko's Wishes Come True. Our plan is to do the stuff down. Our plan is to, as it would be the last thing we could do, Operation Make All of Our plan is...
Noodle.
Our plan is to do the stuff she wrote down in the journal, and we call it Operation Make All of Toriko's Wishes Come True, as it would be the last thing we could do for her and make sure she passes with no regrets. When we look over the list, almost everything seems achievable except for one. When we look over the list she wrote, almost Factory Eye, but Factory Eye lets us know. But Factory Eye says we will discuss when we look. Factory Eye lets us know for one. Now this is when I feel the game having. Factory Eye lets us know we. But Factory Eye lets us know we will. except for one. But Factory Eye lets us know we will discuss this one at a later date. Now, lets us know we will discuss this one at a later date. Now,
I'm gonna redo that. But Factory Eye lets us know we will discuss this one at a later date. But Factory Eye lets us know we'll deal with this one at a later date. Part. Not redo it. Get rid of those. All right, we're getting closer to this. This is still not everything, though. In the online strategy guide and the page called Collection of Short Stories, or it's a useful trick you can do. You get a great hits ranking every time. Well, that's probably what I'm going to need to know how to do. I would laugh if the trick is just play good. They've just put in there, it's just like, just play well. Alright, I'm gonna redo this one here. Also, I forgot to unmute it, my bad. Finding Candyland isn't too bad, as this just... Finding the Candyland map isn't too bad, as all you have to do is go through 5 floors and see if it appears, and if it doesn't, just repeat these 5 floors again. Finding the candy... Finding the Candyland map isn't too bad, as all you have to do is go through 5 floors and see if it appears, and if it doesn't, just repeat these 5 floors again. The other one doesn't, just repeat these 5 floors again. It's when the other one comes into play. I talked about it earlier in the video, but I'm gonna have to go into I talked about it earlier in the video before, but I'm actually gonna go into detail now. I talked about this earlier in the video before. I talked about it earlier in the video. You see, one of these missions
I talked about it earlier in the video before, but now it's actually time to go over this dumb mission. You see one of these tasks, you see one of these requests asks you to craft a monster ball to catch a chicken. You see one of these requests asks you to craft a monster ball to catch a chicken. You see one of these requests you have to do is to craft a monster ball to catch a chicken. Sounds simple. Chicken. Sounds simple till you realize, sounds simple enough till you realize, sounds chicken. Sounds simple enough till you realize what counts as catching said chicken is RNG, as what counts as catching said chicken is RNG, as what this really means is a rare item drop. The chicken also The chicken also doesn't spawn till the 15th. The chicken also doesn't spawn till the 15th floor or after. You have to work through 15 different maps to even have a chance at RNG. So this means you have to work through 15 different maps to even have a chance at a RNG item drop. Meaning you can come to the 15 different maps to even have a chance at a RNG item drop. Meaning you can come to these floors and never see a chicken, or get here and it never gives you the item. I saw one guy mention it took him 3 times of doing. I tried to see if I saw one guy mention that this.
Scroll down in the page. There's a setup you can use to achieve it. Once you have bought the required cameras and lights in one of the shops in some of the towns, you can do it.
Never see a chicken, or you could get here and it never gives you the item. I saw one guy mention that this took him 3 different times of doing this before he got the item to drop. I did try to see if it was possible. Because I'm lazy and I didn't want to do this, I did try to see if it was by abusing a gift.
It looks interesting though, like looking at the box for it, and mine came with the manual and everything, and it looks really cool, to be honest with you. Very trippy indeed. I feel like I'm gonna like it alone just from the aesthetics, even if I don't get what's going on in a lot of it.
Because I'm lazy and I didn't want to do this, I did try to see if it was possible to maybe manipulate the RNG by abusing it.
I want, you know what I should do? I should really, whenever I get the chance, plug in my PS3 and put the PS1 games inside of it, because it's because mine's jailbroken, so I can play the Japanese ones. But I should see if there's audio on there, because a lot of PS1 discs will just have audio you can listen to, with most of it being the soundtracks usually. But I'm always curious to check that shit out.
Manipulate the RNG.
That's one of the benefits of having the physical over not having it. You can check if there's stuff like that.
I recommend you do this at any point if you I recommend you breaks this game in half. I recommend you do this at any point if you die. You see, the way the auto by abusing a gimmick I mentioned earlier that breaks this game in half. By abusing a if you want my recommendation for this gimmick, I tried to see if it was possible to maybe manipulate the RNG by abusing these. Because I'm lazy and I didn't want to do this, I did try to see if it was by abusing the autosave, by abusing the said gimmick that I mentioned. So I recommend you do this by abusing a gimmick I mentioned earlier that breaks this game in half. So I recommend you do this at any point if you die. You see the way the autosave works is whenever you go through a floor, the game will just, save. You see the way the autosave works is whenever you go through a floor, the game will, autosave works is whenever you go through a floor, the game will save. Easy enough to understand. That's how autosave works. That's how autosave works. Meaning, this means if you theoretically turn the system off, that's how autosave works. This means if you theoretically turn the system off and on or quit the game and open it again, if you die, This means if you theoretically turn the system off, this means if you theoretically turn the system off and on or quit the game or had a crash, this means if
Make that better.
means if you This means if you theoretically turn the system off and on or quit the game or had a
Going
crash,
crazy on a toy over there.
you will be back at the floor you left off at. You will be back at the floor you left off at. I only know this because Void Terrarium 1 and 2 are prone to crashing, but luckily, this means if you theoretically turn the system off and on or quit the game and open it up again, you will be back at the floor you left off at. I only know this because Void Terrarium 1 and 2. This means if you theoretically turn the system off and on or quit the game or had a crash, you will be
Okay, so I think that's the same way Planet Dov is, right?
or had a crash, you will be back at the floor you left off at. I only know this because this means if you theoretically turn the system off and on or quit the game or had a crash, you will be back at the floor you left off at. I only know this because the floor you left off at. I only know this because Void Terrarium 1 and 2 are prone to crashing, but luckily this is... I only know this because Void Terrarium... But I never brought it up in the first review as I didn't...
God, I just fucked up on everything with that.
left off at. I only know this because Void Terrarium 1 and 2 are prone to crashing, but luckily this is here, so it's not a huge deal. But I never brought it up in the first review as I didn't want to let... But I never brought it up in the review as I didn't want... But I never mentioned this... But because Void 2... But because Void 2 wastes your time every chance it can get, this is my way of telling you how to get that time back. As this could ruin how some people play. But because Void 2 wastes your time every chance it can get, this is my way of telling you how to get that time back. I shouldn't have to tell you, do this workaround so the game plays better as... I shouldn't have...
Setup I use for getting a great hit ranking easily skips the 3 challenges and see awards on stage 10 so I can make it to the final boss. Is there actual RPG mechanics or like fighting wise, or is it all just like dancing?
I shouldn't have to tell you, do this workaround so the game plays better. You know, I shouldn't have to tell you, do this workaround so the game plays better as I... You know, I shouldn't have to tell you, do this in my Illblade to tell you, do this workaround so the game plays better, as I gave Nitro Rad crap for that in my Illblade review. But I'm going to mention it since I truly hate games that waste the player here, since I truly hate games that waste the player. But I'm going to mention it since but I'm only going to mention it. But I tried this exploit. In my Illblade review. But I'm only going to mention it here since I truly hate games that waste the time with things not even worth doing. But I tried this exploit to see if I could get different item drops, and sometimes I would and other times I didn't, but hey, I got the chicken item on my first attempt.
Okay.
But I tried this exploit to see if I could... I got the chicken item on my first attempt. But I tried this exploit to see if I could get different items to drop, and sometimes I would and other times even worth doing. But I tried this exploit to see if I could get different items to drop, and sometimes I would and other times I didn't. But hey, I got the chicken item on my first attempt by doing this exploit, so I guess it maybe works.
Do we know how the rating system in that game works? Like what's decided on how good your
So I
video
guess it
is?
maybe works. But the fact they RNG drop like this exists in a match system, but it's still so dumb. It's why I said it's weird how they went. But it's still so dumb a RNG drop like this even exists. But it's still so dumb a RNG drop like this even exists in a map system made to be this way. It just killed me so much trying to do. It just killed me so much trying to do. It really killed me playing.
Thank God I fucking redid that, because there was a loud fucking...
It's killed me so much.
At that, so it's like a loud hiss sound.
Made to be this way. It really killed me playing this, I'm not gonna lie. It's why I said it's weird how they went about tackling issues the genre of Mystery Dungeons have, but they made other issues most of the games in the style don't have.
Or Subway Surfer, I'll multiply my... You can play Subway Surfer online. I actually got Luke to play it on stream.
It's weird how they went about tackling issues the genre of Mystery Dungeons have, but they made other issues most of the games in the style don't have. But once you get everything together and help Trico be happy, you're now left with the final request, which is allowing her to see her mom and dad, which is something we obviously can't complete. As sad as that realization is, we couldn't do as quest, which is allowing her to see her mom and dad, which is something we obviously can't complete. As sad as that realization is, we couldn't do everything she wanted. At least we can say we've done the majority of things she wrote down, so it's not a total loss. Factory Eye. At least we can say total loss. Factory Eye then starts to question if all of this. Factory AI then starts. This is when Factory AI then starts to question if all of this was really being done for Trico's well-being, and not just to satisfy. Factory AI then starts to question if all of this was really being done for Trico's well-being, and not just done for Trico's well-being, and not just to satisfy our own feeling. Robbie assuring her. Satisfy our own feelings. Robbie assuring her this has.
Yeah, so once I finish this, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream.
Satisfy our own feelings.
I didn't expect it to take as long as it did, but thank God, dude, because this is like the worst part of the editing.
It has been overall beneficial to Toriko's emotional state.
I still have to record the rest of the script, but I'll do that probably tomorrow.
This makes Factory Eye burst into tears as she realizes we both really put so much effort. This makes Factory Eye burst into tears as she realizes we both really have put a lot of effort into keeping her kicking as she's a fighter. This makes Factory AI burst into tears as she realizes we both really have put a lot of effort into keeping her kicking as she's a fighter. Even if our time is slowly coming to an end, even if our time is slowly coming to an end as her health is we're left with her last request getting marked in as her health is failing. At least we both can say we did all that we could to save her, make her the happiest Trico she could be.
I believe there are 6 rankings in the game as the strategy guide describes it. There's booing available now, smash hit, break hit, mega hit, and then there's great hit.
We're left with her last request getting marked in red and degrading away. Now, I'll mention this
Reminds me of TV DJ. That's like a whole fucking game where it's like a music video / music rhythm game.
I'll mention this quickly, but the rest of the footage for the review is going to consist getting marked in red and degrading away. Now, I'll mention this quickly, but the rest of the footage for the review is going to consist of a stream VOD recording since my PC decided to run out of storage during a play session. Instead of just ending the recording where it stopped at, it just deleted the whole file itself. This is why you will see a chat box in the corner here, and it may look a bit worse in quality. Whole file itself. This is why you will see a chat box in the corner here, and it may look a bit worse in quality. Nothing I can do about that unless I want to replay through all this, which I don't. Bit worse in quality. Nothing I can do about that unless I want to replay through all this, which I don't. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. Toriko, however, all this, which I don't. So Toriko, however, gets sick again, and it's the same issue from before with her limbs falling off, leaving her in agony. Sadly, all this, which I don't. So Toriko. Sadly, it seems. Sadly, it seems the. Even if we heal her body. Sadly, it seems the cold, harsh truth of her not pulling through like we hoped for is soon coming to fruition. Even if we heal her body this time, it's for sure going to come back in. Even if we heal her body this time, it's for sure going to come back in an even worse state than before as her Even if we heal her body, it's for sure going to come back in an even. Even if we heal her body this. Even if we heal her body this time, it's for sure going to come back in an even worse state than before, as her regenerative abilities, as her regeneration. But we do the same song and dance. But we do the same as her regeneration.
Do you think with how much I fucking talk,
as her regeneration abilities are losing their power? But we do the same song and dance. And craft the medicine to help reattach body parts, hopefully for the last time. Dance and craft the medicine to help reattach her body parts, hopefully for the last time. The screen fades to black as we let Toriko rest as the medicine should be kicking in, allowing her arm and leg to. The screen fades to black as we let Toriko rest. The screen fades to black as the medicine should be kicking in.
Okay, should be it.
The screen fades to black as we let Toriko rest. As the medicine should be kicking in, allowing her arm and leg to attach back. Factory AI tells us how even though she said we needed to stay positive, she finds it super difficult to do.
Okay, that is done. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end it for now. For now. So I will be streaming tomorrow. We'll be playing this new game that comes out tomorrow. We're gonna see if it's bad or not. I've been hearing mixed things. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's bad. So we'll find out tomorrow. But